So it looks like we are finally at the end of our campaign, and the Philippines have managed to somehow win a cultural victory there. It was very smart of them to declare war on Canada, especially to get the Pope in, so that Canada was forced to fight two different fronts, and they just, they got absolutely demolished. And I did let a few turns go by so that we can just, boom, press the next turn and end this campaign. Pretty much the only results. I don't think that the Philippines captured anything else. Obviously, I think that their expansion would have stopped, trying to move in to take more Canadian cities. Because they kind of ran out of units here. And I'm wondering if maybe Afghanistan thought about going to war soon. They might have. I mean, look at the amount of units that, the Afghan military has right on the border here. It could have been possible, but it's a little bit too late because I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, I just slapped down a city, so I just I'm gonna get a few more I'm gonna get a few notifications, probably from everybody. Unfortunately, imagine if I had to play this game now. Jeez. That would be terrible. Here I am. I found a spot there. If I couldn't find a spot, I think some of you guys were worried, like, where are you supposed to find a spot? That was before, obviously, the whole city-state fiasco. I would have just made, a little island from the IGE editor, and everything would have been fine. Go away. I don't care. I really hope that this is the last turn, or else I'm going to have to keep looking at these people's faces all the time. That should be it, though. As you can see, Hungary did a pretty good job. They're going after Rome now, the capital of Rome. They already took one city away from the Pope. So, yeah, I mean, their war was really successful, as we thought it would be, and more than likely they would have taken over everything. Definitely would have taken over everything. So, the Philippines have been victorious in this campaign. Congratulations. They did a really, really good job. I will say they played a fantastic game. So, demographics, pretty sure all across the board, except for actually soldiers. At the very end, Hungary had a significant amount more soldiers, although the Philippines wielded a military with over 400,000 men. So, I don't know. I think that maybe, Hungary and Afghanistan could have possibly both declared war at the very end there and taken away quite a lot of power from the Filipino Empire. Approval was, well, it doesn't really matter, but yeah. And then Canada technically was still number one in literacy, so they did actually I think they got that number one technology spot, as we thought they would, because they were generating just so much science before, of course, they started losing their cities. I think a science victory would have definitely fallen in Leicester's hands, but unfortunately, that's not the way the cookie crumbled. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay and see what happened. Let's first look at the graphs here. It is pretty amazing to see who is that. I think that's Canada right there, just the very end. It's just like these two nations dominating. Canada has this huge growth spurt right here, catching up one-on-one right with the Philippines. For several hundreds of years, it was like that until boom. Just skyrockets downward. Is there anything else that I kind of want to look at? Do they have a military might? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, look how far the Filipino military dropped. I knew that they had lost a lot. The Afghanistan military was clearly much bigger, as well as even Prussia. Is that Prussia? No, that's not Prussia. I am thinking of, who's that dark blue? Oh, there's a little bit more. Hungary. Oh, that's Hungary. Yeah, so I think that if both Afghanistan and Hungary both joined in, they could have definitely stolen away some cities from the Philippines, which would have been a smart choice. Number of cities, yeah, this was constantly back and forth here, although some really nice late game expansion for Hungary. Very, very nice late game. Hungary came out of nowhere, and I'm pretty proud of them too. As a civ, they are pretty successful. Okay, so those are the only ones that I really like to look at in the graphs. Let's look at the map and go ahead and press play here. Now, this was a pretty insane game with the expansion. Like, if we watch the Philippines, they were really quiet, and I think they just had a really excellent spot, as well as you got to give it to their unique ability. They had a really good unique ability, but, for a while there, they only had one city. Then they grabbed a second city, and they were friendly towards Canada, which was smart. And in the very beginning, they grabbed the alliance of the Canadians. Boom, Philippines have grabbed their third city. Canada and the Philippines, like I said, were very buddy-buddy at this point. At some points, the Inuit tribe are going to get completely ravaged here, but not after. Yeah, there goes Vietnam, taking over all of the Sioux cities. That was crazy, and Bulgaria just having the most unlucky start. Boom, now the Inuit tribe has taken over Scotland, and the Philippines take over them. So now there was this like three-way battle, and this was such a fun part in the game because I didn't know what was going to happen. They all chose different ideologies too, so that made it even better. Now finally the eastern part of the Pangea map is starting to form up, starting to blob out. So I'm shocked that the Pope did not do a lot better. I am genuinely surprised that the Pope was not just absolutely dominating in this campaign. I thought he would. And then boom, the fall of Vietnam, which was a big deal. Afghanistan really could have capitalized on this moment here, but they didn't. They were at war with Vietnam for a very long time, but they didn't actually manage to capitalize on anything. And then all of a sudden, Hungary takes over all of Finland. Boom, boom, boom. At the very last second, they declare war on the Pope. Canada loses a whole bunch of cities, and very clearly, the Philippines just kind of outmatched everybody. You know, I mean, they were constantly in this fight, and they were also the most vulnerable when Vietnam had blobbed out. You also have Afghanistan, the Afghanistan nation right off to their west, who was strong and good in military and good technology. You know, I got to give it to the Philippines. They played a really good game. They outlasted the Vietnam Empire. They kind of did their thing with the Canadians, making it seem like they were friends, and then obviously, well, I don't think they weren't like, I don't know, it wasn't like any sort of negative way. The Philippines were, I think, honestly, the Canadians' friends in the beginning, but, you know, of course, ideologies come into play and things break apart, relationships break apart. So anyways, that was it. Let's, oh man, I gotta choose all these things. Yeah, I don't think so. I was gonna kind of click one more next turn, but I guess we can. Let's just for the sake of things, check one more next turn, and just skip through all these people asking me questions. I'll only do one. I do want to see if someone's gonna declare war on the Philippines. I figured that they would, but maybe not. Who knows? We never know. I do want to check the info addicts before we go, though. The info addicts is always kind of more interesting because, you know, what does the demographics actually show us? Honestly, it doesn't. I don't think it shows us anything. I can't just keep hitting enter. I have to actually accept this. Okay, that's fine. Don't ask me anything, Pope. Okay, yes, you can have whatever you guys want. So yeah, no wars popped up. Hungary did not declare the war on the Philippines. Neither did Afghanistan. Who knows? I mean, even the Goths could have joined in. Maybe Mali. Canada actually managed to not lose any more cities, and I think they would have been okay. No, actually, this city would have fallen. There's a Marine right up north. And like I said, let's go ahead and check the info addicts one last time. So population goes to the Philippines at the very end here. Actually, yeah, it shouldn't be surprising that the Philippines are going to have most of these categories, but I do want to see where Hungary and Afghanistan ended up. Afghanistan was generating a lot of money. Even at this point, with Canadians losing so many cities, they still had more land area than Hungary. That's surprising. Hungary had a big military, so did Afghanistan. I think I'm underestimating. I think the Filipino military was still pretty strong. I would say social standing, Philippines, happiness. Canada still had that #1 spot. They actually jumped by one technology above the Filipino nation as a whole. Hungary was also catching up as well, only two techs behind now as well. So it's funny because I've noticed that the AI does really well in terms of science when they start to blob out. When, you know, most human players, that's not really the case. When there's an AI that's blobbed and playing super wide, I think that actually helps their science game. I need to look into a little bit more of the bonuses or the facts about that, but that's what it appears to be to me. Cities, obviously, the Philippines. Hungary controls 9 cities, though. Culture. Wonders, obviously, the Philippines. 30 wonders. Now, that pretty much won them the game right there. But, you know, let's not forget their unique ability. That was a pretty successful unique ability in this case here. Great works. They only had 41. But just in terms of tourism, 922 tourism output. Wow. Very good game of the Philippines. They definitely outlasted all of their rivals. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this campaign. I certainly did. I meant it to be kind of this shorter series, as well as it being kind of, I felt like personally it was a breath of fresh air from the, you know, regular True Start location mods. We will continue off with that again. We will get back into that very, very soon. And I did want to make for all the, you know, I did want to say that for all the commenters that picked the Philippines, instead of butchering your guys' names like I have been in the past, I won't butcher it. I promise. I felt bad because some people, I just am not that smart, and I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna throw your names up at the very end of this video. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.